are witnessing a constitutional crisis. We talked about Trump wanting to be a dictator on day one, and here we are. This is what the beginning of dictatorship looks like. When you gut the Constitution and you install yourself as the sole power, that is how dictators are made.
In a stunning turn of events, rumors are now swirling around Ilhan Omar's possible deportation after years of controversy surrounding her background, remarks, and political actions. Social media is exploding with claims that Congress and immigration authorities might be reopening old cases tied to her citizenship. While no official confirmation has surfaced, the buzz alone has reignited a heated debate about loyalty, accountability, and whether a sitting lawmaker could ever truly face deportation from the United States. In a shocking twist that sent shockwaves through Washington, reports began circulating that Ilhan Omar might be facing possible deportation proceedings. The rumors spread like wildfire across news outlets and social media, leading to what many are calling a political meltdown on live television. Omar was seen visibly frustrated as hosts pressed her on whether the claims were true. For a moment, her usually composed tone cracked, sparking speculation that there might be more truth to the story than she's willing to admit. Viewers called it her live TV freakout, as she accused her critics of orchestrating a smear campaign to silence her.
Elon Musk, I want to see if you want to respond to him. He is actually singling you out on X. He retweeted a post that alleged you were telling Somalians who are illegally in the country how to avoid deportation. You do speak Somali in the clip, and the translation, according to the translation, it shows you telling people that if ICE attempts to question them, they are not obliged to answer those questions. I do not speak Somali, and I'm basing this on the translation that he retweeted here. And this is guidance that we have heard from many immigration advocates. But Musk says that you are, quote, breaking the law literally outright. Do you want to respond to that?
Well, it just shows you how much he lacks an understanding of what the laws of this country are. In the clip, it was an interview that I gave to a reporter. I'm not in that room, actually, that they pan out to. That is an edited video. And in the interview, I was asked, well, what I say to Somalis who are undocumented or who their documentations might have lapsed. And it is important for people to exercise their Fifth Amendment right to remain silent unless they feel confident.
Representative Chip Roy wasted no time weighing in. Known for his sharp criticism of Omar, Roy delivered one of his most fiery statements yet, saying that no one is above the law, not even members of Congress. He called for a full and open investigation into Omar's background, suggesting that if any irregularities are found, deportation should absolutely be on the table. His remarks lit up political circles as supporters praised his courage while others accused him of fanning racial and religious tensions. Still, Roy stood his ground, insisting that Americans deserve transparency from those who lead them. Soon after, Senator John Kennedy entered the debate with his trademark Southern wit and blunt honesty. Speaking to reporters, Kennedy said, "If you lie on your papers, you don't get to keep your seat in Congress. You get a ticket home." The statement instantly went viral. Kennedy's no-nonsense style connected with millions who've grown tired of political double standards. He didn't say Omar was guilty, but emphasized that even a whiff of dishonesty from public servants should be taken seriously. His words added significant weight to the growing calls for a full investigation.
madaxweyne Hassan Sheikh Mohamud inaan maanta ku soo dhaweyno Minneapolis.
During a heated live interview, Ilhan Omar's composure completely slipped. When questioned directly about her immigration records and allegations of marriage fraud, Omar grew visibly defensive, accusing journalists of racism and Islamophobia. The host attempted to steer the discussion back to facts, but Omar interrupted several times, her tone rising with each response. The clip quickly went viral online under the title, "Ilhan Omar Freaks Out After Deportation News." Critics called it a meltdown, while supporters said she had every right to push back against what they viewed as an unfair interrogation. Across Capitol Hill, The political divide over Omar's situation has never been sharper. Conservative lawmakers like Chip Roy and Senator Kennedy argue that integrity in public office must come before political correctness. Meanwhile, progressives defend Omar fiercely, claiming she's being targeted for who she is rather than what she's done. Social media platforms turn into battlegrounds overnight, with hashtags like hashtag deport Omar and hashtag stand with Ilhan trending simultaneously. The atmosphere grew so charged that even neutral journalists struggled to cover the story without facing backlash from one side or the other.
You had on X, you said that Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, U.S. citizen, should be deported to her home country of Somalia. Omar became a naturalized citizen at 17. Why did you do that?
Well, listen, my colleague Ilhan Omar, she is an American citizen. She is a member of the House of Representatives. I didn't call for her to be deported, but I did say that America would be better off were she deported. I think that there is a serious problem, particularly given after the past 4 years of open borders, of Democrats facilitating the invasion of our country by illegal aliens. My colleague Ilhan Omar was advising illegal alien Somalis on how to evade ICE detection. That is as un-American as you can possibly get. It's unbecoming of a congressperson.
What evidence?
And I absolutely
where are
think
you getting that from specifically? Where are you getting that from specifically?
We have the audio of her doing that.
But do you think that
interview?
She is a duly elected member of Congress.
She has a duty to uphold
put her
the
in
values
office
and customs of America,
you're
not to represent foreign illegal aliens who shouldn't be here to begin with. And I think that raises serious questions.
She is helping people understand what the laws are. But listen.
That raises serious. To whom is she most loyal? Illegal aliens, Somalis, or American citizens?
She's representing her constituents.
Very legitimate question.
As a member of Congress, Congressman Brandon Gill.
Sources inside Congress say private discussions about Omar's case have been happening for weeks. Some insiders believe political leaders are quietly gathering information before taking any public action. Others insist it's just noise meant to distract from upcoming elections. But one thing is certain. The topic has become impossible to ignore. Lawmakers who once avoided speaking on Omar's controversies are now being forced to comment, especially after Chip Roy's fiery remarks and Kennedy's direct challenge. The question lingering over Washington is simple. Could this really lead to the unthinkable? Deportation of a sitting congresswoman? Legal experts have tried to calm the storm, reminding the public that deporting a naturalized U.S. citizen, especially one serving in Congress, is an extraordinary process. It will require undeniable proof of fraud during the citizenship process. So far, no such evidence has been confirmed. Yet, the fact that the conversation is happening at all reveals how deep the distrust in political figures has become. Every detail of Omar's background is being dissected online, and misinformation spreads faster than the truth. Still, public curiosity continues to build with every new headline.
This debate today, it's about who gets to be an American. What opinions do we have to have to be counted as Americans? This is what this debate is about, Madam Speaker. There is this idea that you are a suspect if you are an immigrant, or if you are from certain parts of the world, or a certain skin tone, or a Muslim. It is no accident that members of the Republican Party accused the first black president, Barack Obama, of being a secret Muslim.
Facing mounting pressure, Ilhan Omar took to national television to respond. With a mix of anger and defiance, she declared, "They can't deport me for standing up for justice." Her supporters cheered, viewing it as a brave stand against political bullying. But her critics saw it differently, an emotional outburst showing she's rattled by the growing scrutiny. Even Senator Kennedy commented on her reaction, saying, "If you've got nothing to hide, you don't get this mad." The back and forth has only deepened public intrigue, keeping Omar at the center of one of the most intense political storms in years. As the days pass, Americans are watching every update with fascination. Television panels debate whether the situation exposes flaws in the immigration system or in Congress itself. Supporters say Omar represents a new generation of leaders who challenge the old guard. Critics argue she's using identity politics to shield herself from accountability. Chip Roy, in a recent statement, doubled down once again, saying, "We don't need loyalty to ideology. We need loyalty to the truth." His words resonated with many who feel disillusioned with modern politics and demand real transparency.
It is no accident that former President Donald Trump led a birther movement that falsely claimed he was born in Kenya. Because to them, falsely labeling the first and only president of the United States of America a Muslim and African immigrant somehow made him less American. Well, I am Muslim. I am an immigrant, and interestingly, from Africa. Is anyone surprised that I am being targeted? Is anyone surprised that I am somehow deemed unworthy to speak about American foreign policy? Or that they see me as a powerful voice that needs to be silenced? Frankly, it is expected, because when you push power, power pushes back. Representation matters. Continuing to expand our ideas of who is American and who can partake in the American experiment is a good thing. I am an American who was sent here, by her constituents to represent them in Congress, a refugee who survived the horrors of a civil war, someone who spent her childhood in a refugee camp, someone who knows what it means to have a shot at a better life here in the United States.
For now, there's no official confirmation that Ilhan Omar is facing deportation, but the story shows no sign of fading. Every appearance, every statement, and every reaction adds fuel to the fire. Some analysts believe this controversy could reshape the political landscape leading into the next election, especially if evidence emerges to support the claims. Whether Omar weathers the storm or not, one thing is clear. Her name has become synonymous with one of the most polarizing debates in modern American politics. And if her recent live TV meltdown is any indication, the pressure is only just beginning.
And it's great to have you here. I mean, we'll talk about the Nancy Mace of all of this in a moment. But on that resolution that passed today, a lot of your House colleagues, the Democrats, voted yes on this. Why did you vote no?
Yeah, well, I condemn political violence, and I obviously condemn the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I just not get myself to honor a legacy that I believe was filled with hate, bigotry, and rage baiting. And I think it's really important for us to have this honest conversation about what this man's legacy was, you know, what he spewed on his podcast, and the ways in which he disparaged women of color like myself.
Your colleague, another Democrat, Jamie Raskin, voted yes on this resolution. He basically said, even if he didn't agree with every phrase in it, that he viewed it as a moment for both parties to come together. Do you think he's wrong in that?
Well, the moment should exist, but what we have seen this week in regards to what my Republican colleagues have decided to do in their attacks targeting me and what the president has decided to do, these are people who are calling basically for our assassination of us. Nancy Mace, as you just referenced, called me the enemy of the state. And so these are not people who are interested in bringing us together. They're not interested in, turning the volume down. They're not interested in finding common ground. And even the Republicans who voted out of their obligation to the Constitution and doing the right thing in making sure that I didn't get censured for words I did not actually say, they are being under attack right now. They're being threatened. A call for their resignation is out there, and some of them are actually frightened for their lives from their own base. And so, when we say we want a country that's united, it starts with all of us and all of our actions, and we're not seeing that on the other side of the aisle right now.
Yeah. And To be clear on Mace, she didn't literally call for your assassination, but you're saying because of all of the comments, I mean, we just showed the dozens of tweets directed at you, that she is, you're arguing, instigating violence against you.
Right. I mean, what do you expect for people to do with me when you call me the enemy of the state? What do you do with people to do with me when you're the president of the United States and you say this person here in Congress is in our country to destroy the country? There is no clear way to incite violence against a sitting member of Congress and unless you go after them in that kind of way. Nancy Mace also retweeted something Charlie Kirk said, which was that Islam was the sword that was going to slit the throat of Western civilization.
The atmosphere inside Congress turned chaotic when the topic of Ilhan Omar's deportation reached the House floor. Lawmakers shouted over each other as Chip Roy demanded clarity on Omar's citizenship record, while progressives accused Republicans of staging a witch hunt. Cameras captured tense exchanges, with Roy standing firm, saying, "If the people's trust is broken, the truth must come out." The debate lasted for hours and ended without resolution. But the energy in that chamber made one thing clear. This controversy had officially gone beyond politics and into the heart of American identity. When Senator John Kennedy appeared on national TV to comment, he didn't hold back. If you break the rules to get here, you can't make the rules for everyone else. The line instantly went viral, shared millions of times across social media. Kennedy's humor and straight talk struck a chord with everyday Americans as emotions flared. Omar gave an emotional press conference, fighting back tears as she spoke about her journey from refugee to Congress. Her supporters applauded, but critics remained skeptical. Kennedy responded shortly after, saying, "Emotion doesn't erase the facts." Chip Roy echoed that sentiment, calling for a full public review of her documents. The story dominated headlines, sparking protests, viral hashtags, and intense debate across the country and beyond.